So I tell you, perfect timing for this video. It's just weird how this all happened today. As you can see, it snowed. But before I get into that, as you know, I've been running some videos about every weekend now, showing you the first days that we were here on the off-grid property and all the work that we put into it for probably the first year. As long as you guys are still watching these things, I will continue to do them. Again, do me a favor on this though, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Watch the video all the way through at normal speed. Now, don't put it on fast forward, please. And the reason is the longer the watch time, the better the video does, and I'll send it out to more people. And then, of course, if you could leave a comment, let me know that you're still enjoying these videos. I'd appreciate it. We're gonna show you a variety of things in this one because we were on a budget. We were trying to build this tiny house, $500 a month for 10 months. So I think what we see in this video is we got the wood stove kind of being installed, or at least the components being purchased. And I've done a lot of work on the roof with the rafters and the overhangs and the plywood. A little bit more informational in this video versus just watching the construction. First thing I got to do today is I got to get these 2x4s right here. I'm using those 2x4s as support for my trusses. That way they don't lean to one side or another. Well, I found some scrap plywood that I can replace that with. When I was putting it up there, I wasn't thinking, I just wanted to, be able to get it up and then I'll worry about all that later. Well, later is now. But my primary goal is at least to get some of the overhang done on this wall right here. So similar to what you see there. Now, how do I make an overhang? This is a challenge. I've never done it before. I mean, I've watched videos, but essentially, imagine this is your truss. So it's up at an angle like this. We're talking about that board over on the end wall. So that's your truss going up. Well, in order to get a overhang, you have to have a board going that way, kind of like that. Well, in order to do that, you have to cut a groove in here and here, and they have to be able to slide into each other. Then when I'm done with that, then I got to come over here and I got to cut these rafters straight up and down, or the overhang. So I've screwed two boards together and I'm going to do two boards at a time. So what I got to do is flip it on its side here. So I got to cut out 1.5 inches. So that I would have to cut out. And I'm going to cut it out 1.5 inches deep. So that means I got to adjust my saw so it doesn't cut any deeper than 1.5 inches. I got to cut this out, and then I got to get up on the rafter and cut 1.5 inches out there as well. Okay, so now you can see that I've got this whittled out. So that's how that will work. So now I have to do that on the rafter also, because if I don't, then it's going to stick out like that. It'll interlock is what it'll do. All right, so this now is the overhang for the north-south wall. So we have east and west walls here, and this is the north-south. So what I did is I had to notch it. See, I notched that one like I showed you earlier. Then I had to notch this one. And now they slide in together. Okay, so as you can see, maybe you can get a better picture of what I'm talking about now with the overhang. So you should be able to see now that I have an overhang on the north-south wall. And I also have overhang on the east-west wall. I have to put a board on top of the overhang that connects each board together. It's called a fascia plate. It's just a 2x4. The problem is, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this in the video, is obviously the boards are at an angle. So they're angling like this. Those boards have to be cut straight up and down. Straight up and down cut, what I'm going to use is my little level here. So I screwed a board up here to help me hold the board that I'm gonna have to put up there. That way I don't need a second person to help me. So if I hadn't put a board right there to hold that end up, I'd have never been able to get that myself. Now I got some plywood also. You saw me unload some plywood, and that is going to be for the attic. Here's the pavers. I'm going to use these pavers to put underneath the wood stove. So today I'm going to start setting up the wood stove. Be careful doing that. You can break a toe. So now I'm going to put the stove on. This is going to be a challenge because I don't want to break the pavers, and I don't want to break my toe. When you do it diagonally like this in a corner, each corner is supposed to be 8 inches away from the wall. So, got it installed, sort of. Just gotta get the chimney put in. I am telling you, man, that looks just incredible. I really like that sitting there. And so today we went to Tractor Supply store and picked up the chimney stuff. So the first thing we have is the single wall chimney, stovepipe. And it comes separated, much like this here. This is 2 pieces. And oh man, this is terrible, because then you have to connect these 2 pieces. And that is like wrestling with a pig in the mud. After a while, you begin to realize the pig likes it. The next component, which is in my opinion the most important component, and it was the most expensive component, and it came into a kit. It was a whole box. This is the attic box. Best thing I can tell you, I don't know exactly what it's called. This box gets put up into the attic. So it will connect to where you see the tarp there. It will hit the tarp right there. The chimney runs up into it, and then there's a connection right about here. And then you put this chimney into the box. So everything inside the box is going to be a triple wall protection. So this is triple wall chimney. I'm going to get back on putting the roof on. Well, there's the roof. So I attached a 2x4 on the roof here temporarily so I can crawl around a lot easier. Oh, and instantly it has made a major difference. Ah, both sides got the roof up. Oh, can't tell you how relaxed I feel about this. So now I don't have to worry about the rain near as much. Of course, I still got to get the house wrap on, that stuff there. But I'm going to get the stove installed tomorrow, get the hole cut for the chimney, and then I can worry about tacking this down, nailing it down, and then covering it with house wrap. And then I can put a tarp up on there, and it was a cold day today. So now you've seen a good portion of the roof build. I wanted to point this out is, here it is, it snowed. And I was told multiple times, not only with the roof, but with the roof of the porch, that neither one of them would survive the first snow. Well, I don't know how many first snows I have to go through before it's going to collapse. I mean, they just knew it was going to collapse. And the reason they knew it was going to collapse because I built it out of 2x4s. Well, these guys were telling me, I've been in construction for 5,000 years. I mean, that's just not good. You got to use 2x6s or 2x8s in your rafters. And it just wasn't true. I mean, we bought a design, a blueprint, I guess, for lack of a better term, that said you could use 2x4s. At the same time I was building this, Dad was building his house down in Florida. And of course he had to follow code. We didn't have to follow code here because we were under 200 square feet on the house. And but he had structural engineers. He lives a quarter mile from the coast of Florida, so hurricane central. And he used 2x4s. They came in, they did a structural analysis or something, and it passed with flying colors. So yeah, it's just funny. Everybody's an expert at everything, but they never come back and say, huh, I didn't think that would work, but it did. Good job. So don't let anybody talk you out of what you know. They're manipulative, they're narcissistic, and they want to be right, and they want to have attention on them, not you. So if you click this up next box to take the video where I was talking about the band wood smoke. So I hope I can inspire you to build your dreams. Thanks for watching.